So a few days ago, I have a friend who chat with me, an old timer Wing Chun Taiji friend who chat with me. So this is what he said. I agree, there are a lot of myths. Mario is like, he feel that people like Chun Manqing, the grandmaster of Taiji, and top judo player trained and fought hard when younger. Now they are older, they have injury, AC3, so now they play push hand right, randori. Now people think you do push hand and chi sao and light training and get as good as the old guy. It doesn't work that way. According to Mario, Stan Israel didn't believe the professor had magic power. Professor means Professor Chen Manqing. He said when you lift the professor's pants leg, his leg were like steel. He trained really hard when he was young. Also, there was a Japanese judo teacher in New Jersey at that time, and Stan Israel felt he was the equivalent of the professor. So in reality, in real life, is there all this jing and qi and everything and magic power and all this kind of thing? Which is I want to share with you later. And here he continues say, qi sao is fun, push hand is fun, leverage trick are fun, but they aren't fighting. Oh yeah, he want to prove it in UFC and Open Kyokushin tournament. Touch hand doesn't prove anything. So let me elaborate to you. So first we want to look into reality. So who is Mario? And what is this Taiji thing is about? So in Taiji movie, we see this. Okay, see it again. This is Taiji, internal power. Okay. So here is Mario. Mario. Here is Mario right in the middle of the Taiji, the eyes of the tornado, the middle of Taiji in China, the competitions of the push hand. Look at what happened. So does it have this? Does it have those stuff? Those chi, magic jing? Or it is all physical? This is a reality. Okay, this is China. This is right in the middle of the Chun family. Okay, now, of course, you all see this. The Tai Chi master fight with Li Xiaodong. So on the Taiji, the internal, the Qi and Jing, this Mario's push hand tournament, this Li Xiaodong's fight with the Lei Lei. You see, that's a reality. Okay. And thus, if you look at Mario, say that Zhen Manqing and top judo player trained and fought hard when young, and now they are older, they are injury, etc. If you don't train hard, can you get there to condition your body? Okay. If you don't train hard like Xu Xiaodong, will you become like that? Okay, no. Does anybody show this kind of thing in the real life? Well, of course, no, many people will not like it, but this is reality. The bottom line is your body conditioning and all sort of stuff, and there's no superiority complex here. Like this Mario here, when you go to push hand with the top of the top in China, Taiji, this is what it is. Is it wrestling or it is judo? Okay. Now, you need to know that Chinese Kung Fu actually is having a tragic in the past 100 years or so. In my YouTube, which I shared last week, this YouTube, I introduced you guys to the Ma Li Tang on how he want to get rid of the mysterious stuff or magic stuff, and also he want to get rid of this state performance stuff. And I introduce you to Mr. Tang Hao. Mr. Tang Hao, who critiques and debunking a lot of things there, like attacking the myth attribute to Shaolin martial to Buddhist monk Bodhidharma and Taiji legend Taoist say Zhang Sanfeng. Oh, Taiji is from Buddhist. Well, Tang Hao 100 years ago do not like that, because in the reality it's not that. So at 100 years ago, do they know like Ma Li Tang and Tang Hao, who are college level of having college level education? Does it know Robert Fitzsimons, the professional boxer from the West, where Robert even have the breathing exercise and everything in the 1900s, early 1900s. Do these people know? Of course. Or else, why did Ma Li Tang in his book talk about the heartbeat and the breathing and so forth, and in the scientific way, and they want to make it scientific. Okay. Now there's a problem at that time. So you take a snapshot here, you see. Tang Hao criticized that Zhang Sanfeng. Okay, so they create myth here. And this person, Chen Weiming, opened this boxing club to make a living from boxing skill. And he was essentially a businessman. So he said in the book, anecdotes about famous people were only used to add the conversations after dinner and were not explored in depth. Chen Weiming large-scale activity to commemorate Zhang Sanfeng, the Taoist thing, the Taoist relationship, are also a way to promote Taiji commercial public activity. Facts have proved that Chen Weiming is extremely successful in promoting Taiji, and his influence is even greater than that of his master Yang Chenpu. So here he said, Tang Hao seems to want to be a scholar and he liked to trace everything back to its root and getting to the bottom of it. So, what you heard today in Taiji and so forth is from this activity, this commercialized stuff. Business. Is it what is you heard today from Taiji, everything is say like this guy, Chen Weiming's is greater, is even far greater than his master Yang Chenpu. Is that the teaching of Grandmaster Yang Chenpu? So what Chen Weiming marketing out is that the teaching of Yang Chenpu? We don't know. But we know that whatever Chen Weiming do is what you believe today. So if Chen Weiming is regarded as a cultural businessman, his actions are easy to understand. To story and publicity, he found a godlike spokesman like the Zhan Sanfeng for Taiji. Taiji has therefore acquired certain divine characteristics and practice. Taiji has become a ritual act of worship and privilege. Since then, Taiji has been shrouded in mysterious. The business activity Chen Weiming is successful. He has successfully created a mythical Taiji in the heart of people all over the world. That's why at that time, Tang Hao, Ma Li Tang want to take it down. Why? How can your propagations of this thing going to fight the real thing from the West? You know it's impossible. But today, people believe on this stuff. Now, even in today's world, read this. Chun style Taiji Quan or Chun style boxing remained 29 moves from 32 movement of General Qi Ji Guang Boxing Sutra. This is not what I said. It was recognized by the Chinese National Sport Commissions. You can write a paper to refute the conclusions of expert study organized by the Chinese National Sport Commission if you wish academic success, new breakthrough, okay? Note that my conclusion is, first, the current Taiji routine will not be formed earlier than Qi Ji Guang. So naturally, it has nothing to do with Zhan Sanfeng, no matter where Zhan Sanfeng know the boxing skill or what boxing skill he know. It has nothing to do with the boxing skill that Qi Ji Guang put together. So this is what happened in today's world. People know. So this Chen Weiming type of marketing is actually what most of the people in today's Chinese Kung Fu is get into. Instead of, for those of you who don't know who's General Qi Guang, please watch this trailer. Okay, it tell the story pretty close to who is General Qi Guang. And also there's a records of the Qi Guang. Okay. So 100 years ago, the problem of this type of myth started. What in the real life is this? What in the real life is this? That's what happened in the real life from 100 years ago. So sorry, there's no such thing as a Chinese Qi, Chinese this and that. Okay, now let's get into breathing. Okay, so this is from General Qi Guang. Check in General Qi Guang if you want to know real Chinese martial art. Or else you are just following the Chen Weiming's propaganda, okay? On this is the Taoist, this is Qi, this is now to talk about breathing, we first need to know more people. So today I like to introduce you to Mr. Nan Huaijing. So you can Google it out and know who is Mr. Nan Huaijing. Okay, now. So Mr. Nan Huaijing is a well-known Buddhist. He was a monk and then he became a lay people. Well-respected spiritual teacher, and he know the internal art and so forth. And you can read about this, okay? And also he is at the age of 18, he was a provincial martial art champion after studying several Chinese martial art, including shopmanship, okay? And by the time he was in the late 1930s, at the age of 21, Nan became military commander at border regions of Sichuan, and he led a local group of 30,000 people against the Japanese invasion. So Mr. Nan Huaijing and Mr. Tang Hao, Mr. Ma Li Tang, they are all in the same time. And you need to know him because they are really specific. They have the inheritance. These are the real Chinese. Okay, now. Before we talk about breathing, let's look into the qi. Qi have different types. Take a snapshot of this so I don't have to read it, okay? Vital qi is mainly derived from essence of qi in the kidney, okay? Or zhong qi is mainly derived from breath and qi, breathing qi, okay? Zhong qi is mainly derived from breathing qi and water and grain qi. Water and grain qi just simply mean nutrition from your food. In the same way, your yin qi and defending qi are also mainly derived from water and grain qi in the spleen and stomach, and clear qi in heel of the lung. So the base of, you can call this zhong qi, yin qi, wei qi, all have the base on your nutrient, what you eat, and your breathing, okay? So breathing, the qi doesn't come like, oh, it's some kind of energy. Like today, people talk about energy. So where is this energy come? Now, this is a critic to Bruce Lee from Mr. Nan Huaijing. So here, you can take a snapshot. You can take a snapshot. He disagreed that to show Bruce Lee's video to people because he said that here, Bruce Lee do not know how to develop his qi. And thus that will cause people to die abruptly. Why do we want to have our young people die abruptly following him? So here he talk about Wei Qi and Ying Qi, as I just shared with you here. And at the end, he said that in practice martial art, internally train a mouthful of breath, externally train your muscle, sinews, and your bone. In other words, muscular endurance and your bone strength and so forth. That is how it is. Not the way how Bruce Lee do not know how to train the chi or the breath. Okay. So that is the critics to Bruce Lee. Okay. Now, in Chinese martial arts, there are 3 types of breathing. Subtle breathing is for qi neurosing. Common breathing is for fitness training. Windy breathing is for strengthening training or fighting or endurance training. Unless one knows how to handle this breathing, one is not going to go anywhere in real Chinese Kung Fu. In the Shaolin short strike riding, notice what he said. Take a snapshot and you can read it on this breathing. The transportations of force and jing is based in breathing. At the end, breathing is the strength. Strength is the root of a martial artist. If you don't know these 3 types of breathing, how can it be any martial art stuff at all? Now, in this writing, take a snapshot and you can read it. In the fighting training, one must use full power and full speed. Starting with hard training, one refine the hardness towards soft, flexible training. This is the proper way to develop good fighting skill. If one trains without using full power and full speed, one will never develop good fighting skill. Therefore, this is what it means by there is hard within soft. Sorry, it never is what you believe in, like the Chen Wei Ming's Zhan Sanfeng, the Taoists, and blah, 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 without really getting into the breathing, the proper training, the proper knowing the breathing, and knowing what is going on with the qi in the body, and the different type of breathings, and the real training. If you use this type of training, then you'll be able to face this. The Chinese 100 years ago already know. That's why they want to push for scientific to properly show the cause and effect of the training. Not this type of mysticism, which is misleading people. Okay? Now, so if you look into today's combat sports, now this is from darestrong.com, you know, you can see all this. Okay. The first step to develop endurance for combat sport is your respiratory limitation, which means your breathing. Okay. This is all breathing stuff. This is usually due to some kind of obstruction they are breathing due to postural or biomechanic issue. The common for fighter who usually have chaotic posture or the breathing protocol. Another one, breakingmuscle.com, HRV. In this study, the researcher looked at judo player for specific reason. Okay, you need to have your HRV. So in this study, the researcher discovered HRV was a good measurement tool for combat athletes. If you want to go for a real fight, this is the medical clearance for NSAC. Comprehensive physical examination form to complete by licensed physicians chosen by fighter. 12-lead EKG, heart rhythm. Okay? That is all linked to scientific stuff. That's why in my book, Decoding Wing Chun, you look at how I map the, like just now I shared with you, the nurture chi, fitness, and martial art training, HRV, your heart rate zone here, and what type of training, the full accelerated, all this thing, and describing two types of windy breathing. And the first type, the first type is a difference between well and less well training athletes is their ability to compete at high percentage of VO2 max. Okay, higher lactate threshold. Okay, at this level of strengthening training, the windy breathing is coarse than common breathing. This type of windy breathing is a heavy or forceful type of common breathing. Now, level 2 strengthening training is extreme training, which challenge the body's limit. At this level of training, windy breathing patterns are manipulative rather in the nature because performance is the goal rather than fitness. It is based on normal breathing platform, but it's no longer natural. This type of breathing does not follow the natural rhythm of lower abs breathing. And I continue to show this. If you say that you have your kung fu, your internal whatever, you better show your HRV performance, your breathing and intra-abdominal pressure, lung capacity, VO2 max, endurance, which is related to your heart. So on breathing, that's what the reality is. You need to know the breathing. You need to know how the breathing related to the qi, where the Chinese talk about. You need to know what type, how many type is there, how to develop this thing, and how it show up in science. You can measure today. That's why in my book, I show the entire thing. Okay? So that's the reality of breathing and your qi and so forth. So, you know, Like here. Oh yeah, he should prove it to UFC and open Kyokushin tournament. Touch hand does not prove anything. What does your touch hand do? You want to go to UFC or any real formal competition? Don't you have to go through this? Don't you have to go through this medical clearance? What is all this medical stuff based on? Of course, it's science, right? Can you touch hand and to show your breathing limitations and so forth or performance? Can you touch hand to show your HRV? Can you touch hand to get proven by the uh, the NSAC? There's even before you can enter into the UFC fight. So the reality is the reality is, yeah, you do chi sao, you do push hand, you can show this leverage tricks. You can show push hand and all this thing is fun. You need to know the reality is all those people train really hard, not just doing push hand, right? Randori thing. You can think you can, oh, he come here, I push him, I can fly him, I can stick him, whatever. If you couldn't even pass this thing, you're not going to enter into the fight. That's why you need scientific verifications. That's why your training need to be scientific. Yeah. What is it? Yeah. Your training need to be scientific. Do you know who you face? What your opponent have? You like it or not today, all your Chinese Kung Fu, Wing Chun or not Wing Chun, you are facing this. Because this is the reality today. If you don't even have this handling, you couldn't even pass this kind of thing. Come on. You don't even have the training like your competitor in the combat art or the combat sports. Okay. So magic chi, blah blah blah. Why is the breathing important? Breathing is important, extremely important. And all those chi stuff, for heaven's sake, it is a beginning. It began in this kind of stuff. It is some businessman's idea. It is not Chinese Kung Fu. Okay? And as here it said, the Chinese National Sport Commission know about it today. So we need to know that you expect this in the real life. How good can you breathe? How is your strength? How is your endurance? How is your handling of the momentum? You expect this. The same thing. How is your cardio? How is your breathing? How is your momentum? How is your endurance? This never happened. Hope that is clear thing for you. Okay. Now, Finally, this is with when the other day I speak with my friend. This is I show him. When fake become real or fake. And the friend say, all goes downhill from there. A lot of honors, and this is what I say, a lot of honors the word royal Western grade student. Why screw them? Okay. And my friend said, anyone who is royal and good student should be treated right. This is what I said. That's the point. Care and love the student, not sugarcoating and acting. You need to tell the truth. You don't want to screw up all your Western student. And you can see that now there's a lot of Westerner who do not even have the inheritance, and also don't know what is the reality. Have they ever participate in any open tournament? Like you require you require this type of clearance. You train into this. Many people in the so-called master in the West don't even know what is reality. To promote all this touch hand stuff and all this stuff, well, good luck. When you really face the real deal, combat sports artists, which is passing the medical clearance, you know you cannot do a thing. Okay. To the worst, even if they don't even know that this exists. They don't even know this breathing stuff, the training, this stuff. There's still tons of it. If you never do any real open tournament or the real fight, how can you know all this thing exists? But it is following this thing. It's exactly following this thing. 100 years ago. Okay. As he said in his book, anecdotes about famous people were only used to add the conversation after dinner. They were not explored in depth. So that's why every day you sit down, you're talking about this grandmaster, his story, this guy telling his story, that guy telling his story. Yet in the West, 100 years ago, people already have this. And today, even more. They have this. The Chinese is not that idiot. The Chinese have this 100 years ago. Too bad. After 100 years of abortions of that reform, this is almost extinct. Again, that's the reason why I wrote this book. This is what the reality is. So, does people in the Asia know about the problem? Just now I show you, right? The guy who debate with the Taiji guy saying that, hey, come on, even Chun Taiji is taking 29's posture of the general Qi Ji Guang style. How come you guys all didn't mention Qi Ji Guang, but Zhan San Feng, all this Taoist stuff, which is, sorry, they're just business sense marketing. So yes, in Asia, there are many people who know this. And that's why, like in this movie, the grandmaster, this movie, okay, so in here it say that when fake replace real, real is fake. When fake replace real, real is fake. So after this long whining, I want you guys to see how sad it is. The Chinese history and culture and technology and martial art, they end up like this today. When fake become real, all is fake, okay? So this is what it is I like to share with you. We like it or not, this is the reality of this world.